Okay, I am going to try to do a video from my phone, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see everything. I'm not sure, but I'm looking at it now. I guess you can see my hands. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm going to be doing just a background for a journal page, and we're going to see how it goes, okay? So, first thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some water and I'm going to spray it all over this paper. And just really saturate it pretty good. Because I'm going to be using some, what do you call them? FW paints. This is what they look like. And they have the pearlescence, you know, they have different ones. And I'm working in a certain color palette, so I'm going to try to go with that. But anyway, I'm just going to drop these with the little dropper they come with, and just kind of watch them spread. There's one little area here, doesn't look like it got water. So. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to do, let me see, I was looking for my turquoise color. I think it's right here. This one's kind of a pearlescent color, which obviously won't show up on camera, but that's okay. You get the idea. You know what pearlescence is. There's another little area that doesn't look like it was sprayed with water. I can tell if it doesn't start moving, then I know. I think I'm going to do a little bit more turquoise, and I'm going to just kind of bend this page around so that the colors run into each other a bit. Just do it towards the camera, I think. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but actually it's pretty darn good. So I'm going to get a paper towel. Let's lighten this up. I would get a tag or something, another piece of paper, and try to make something out of it, but these colors are pretty diluted with all the water, so I don't really like to do that. So peel that off, this off, and then I think I'll try to bend it this way. What I did is I just took out the journal pages from my book, and I'm doing all the backgrounds first, and then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll actually do the journal pages. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match up, like for a spread, you know, to get both sides of the page done. And maybe what I'll do after this is finished, I think I'm going to put a little bit of maybe orange in here. It's actually a pearlescent orange. It's pretty light. So just get some of these areas that are white. And get a little color on them. I don't know how much of this orange is left. Okay. So anyway, what I've done is I've tried to, as I go along, see if I need to, you know, match some colors for the other side of the page. And if you don't know what a spread is, when you've got two pages and they're side by side, that is considered a spread. And so these colors really look pretty cool together. Roll it a little bit. Get something else going here. Okay, I'm going to have to let this sit, obviously, for quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of these other pages, and I wasn't really prepared to do this, but what I'll do is I'll get the other pages and get back with you in just a second here. Okay, so I'm going to have to take this one off, and I'm going to have to be really careful when I do it, so I really like the way it is right now. I don't want it to really change a whole lot. It is going to change some just because I'm moving it. Okay, it's sitting on the floor now. So just let me wipe this off real quick because it's all wet from all that spraying. And I'll show you some of the pages that I did so far. So there's this page here, and this is the opposite page, which I've actually done some work on. And then this is the page that is next to it, so you can see it goes with the other page. Then I've got this page here, which is going to this page. And I've got this page here, which I used some stencils on. I used that, oh, I don't know what you call this. I think it's, you know, for walls when you're patching up a hole or something. It's, you know, it's the little squares. I can't remember what you call this stuff. Anyway, I put it all around the outside, and then I just took I dry brushed some paint, blue paint, some gesso, and some of the kind of magenta purple-y color on there. And I did stencil on here all over the place. It's a very small stencil, but I just kept doing it over and over again. And then I did it in a second color, which you can't hardly tell now, because what I did is I did a really light coat of gesso over it to tone it all down. So that page is going with this page, and this page is all, I painted this page black, and I put a stencil down, and I used different glitz sprays and what do you call it? Actually, they were glitz sprays. So they're by Lindy's Stamping Group Stamp Gang, and these are the ones that are the spritzes, the glitz spritzes. They're all for black backgrounds, and then they've got the other ones that are called moon shadows. Moonshadow mists, and they have walnut color in them. You can make these actually yourself, but these are for, you know, light colored pages, white pages or light colored pages. So that's what I did there. I did have some washi tape, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see this very well, but there's some text, and there was some, you know, just a little bit of design. What I did is I enclosed it in tape, and then I taped the whole thing down just to have something decorative there. So this is the next page. It's like in reds, and I reinforced the edges with some washi tape that I made, and that one needs a little bit of glue. I may as well just do it while I'm talking to you, huh? Just right there. A little gel medium. So anyway, the page that goes with this is this page, and this page actually folds out, and both sides of this page are exactly the same. So it folds out to the same size. And then I have this page, which is the other side of that flap, and that's matching up with this page here. And on this page, what I did is I had done some work with the jelly plate on paper that had text, I believe, which you cannot see very much of the text anymore. But anyway, I ran it through a few times, and then in the very end, I did something with black, and that is what you see. All these areas. It's just I just tore the paper and put it on here. And eventually I want to just color this, probably this color. You know, probably just do that purplish kind of color on it. but I had to reinforce these. These all have these dotted lines that you can tear them out of the book, so you can just use the papers, but I just didn't want to do them that way. So this is actually this scrapbook paper that you can punch out everything, and it's just like a stencil. And if you take these papers, and they're like cardstock weight, if you take these papers and you spray paint them with either clear spray paint, or if you just spray paint something else with the stencil, then they'll become more what should I say, they'll be strengthened by that. You know, they won't just be that paper. So if you're spraying, like, you know, these kinds of sprays on the paper, it's going to deteriorate the paper. But if you spray paint them, spray paint is a plastic type paint, and so when you spray paint them, it seals the whole thing. And what I would do is I would spray it on the front, and then I'd spray it on the back. So this was an alphabet page, and then I did this page to go with that page. And this is again, I had done you know, quite a few pages on my jelly plate, and all of this, and all of these were just a page, and I just cut out different shapes and put them on. I really wasn't very crazy about this page with just the paint on it. It was pretty dark, and I may still try to lighten this up somewhat, but anyway, it's looking better. I could maybe spray it with something too and see how that works out. But I haven't really decided yet. You know, I mean, it's far from being done because these are just backgrounds. So this is the next one. And I just painted the whole page. I actually painted it with this. No, it wasn't this. It was a paint that I had out here. Here it is, I think. It's an Apple Barrel paint, and it's bright yellow, 20513. So I painted the whole background. I actually I sprayed a paper towel with water, and then I glopped some paint on it, and I just rubbed it all over the place. And I took my, you know, ribbon waste and did some, you know, I just took my brush and took some green and did that. And I have this this piece that was in a, you know, when you buy taco shells, this is in it, and it's got corrugated. It's corrugated. So I just used this, and I just put paint on it with a paintbrush, and then I just stamped it in different areas. And this is the page that is going with that page. And this, these pieces of paper that are torn out are from tissue paper. And the tissue paper was actually white with these kind of brownish color triangles. But what I did is I ended up putting watered down yellow on them. And then after I was finished putting the little dots on here with gesso, coloring the page, and, you know, I mean, I actually had glued down other papers that had words, you know, had text on them. And then I built it up a little bit. But when I was finished with everything, I ended up taking some watered down gesso and just gessoed it to tone it down some. Okay, so this is the next page. And of course, when I was working on the jelly plate, you know, I was just rolling my roller after I put the paint on the jelly plate. And so to clean it off, I just rolled it onto some pages, and this is one of them that I did. So I just did a wash of a turquoise paint, which is here, and it is Pearl's Studio Quality Acrylic, and it's turquoise. So that's what I used on this background, but it's pretty watered down, so it's not really the color, you know, it's not as dark as what you see in the tube, because it is watered down. And again, I took the corrugated thing, and at some points I just kind of smeared it, so there are some little smears on it. So that's that, and the page that goes with that page is this page. And I have that stencil right here, so I can show it to you. And like I said, this is one of those stencils that is from the scrapbook store. And they came like this. They're probably laser cut papers or whatever. They were really popular like maybe a year ago. I haven't seen any anytime, lately at all. And I always ask for them if I go into a scrapbook store, but no one seems to have them. So that's exactly what I did to this. I went outside, I spray painted something with it, and I turned it on the other side, and I spray painted the other side. Now, when I put this on here, I had kind of a yellowish background, and I just put it on here, and I took a paintbrush and just, dabbed it. I did not spray this to get this, because the sprays, you have to spray fixative on them, so they fix and everything, and it's, too much hassle. So a lot of times I'll use a spray at the very last minute before, if I know I'm not going to be doing anything else, and it's just going to sit before it gets worked on. That way I'll spray it. So this is the next page, and this has got like a very light wash of like a turquoise on it. And this is the stencil that I used, and I used it all over, obviously. And I don't know what company this was, to tell you the truth. I'm sorry, but I don't. I know my eye stencils, but I don't know what this one was. But oh, actually, I think I got this on that craft discount. It's a craft discount place, and they have all kinds of stencils on there. So at times I turned it over, so that's why you see little bits of this same color in the background here. And then here I definitely turned it over, and then I kind of smeared it. So obviously this page is not going to look like this in the end, so I wasn't really worried about, about that. And this is the pages going with that page. And of course, this again was one that I did on the jelly plate. These pinkish looking pieces. And you can see what I did on the jelly plate is I put on regular gloss gel medium, the golden regular gloss gel medium. And I put a stencil on top of it, and then I put the paper on top of it. And then afterwards, I actually took a wet paper towel and I put some paint on it. And I put on, I don't see it here, but I know I have it. I use it because these are my colors that I'm using for this book. Anyway, I don't see it right now. But it's kind of a pinky purplish color. It is this color. It definitely is this color. And this was a stencil. And anyway, after the gel medium is dry, then you put it on, and it actually serves as a resist. So it turned out pretty cool. And then this is the back side of the page, and I used, I can't tell you what I used. I know I used the turquoise paint, but I also used a spray of some sort. I think it was one of the moon shadow mists, and then I just kind of watered it down, so let it run a little bit. I just wanted it to be a really light thing. And of course I did a little bit more on this. I did some stamping on it, but this is an eye stencil, and I love this stencil. I love things with flourishes and things like that. I have lots of stamps, so obviously you can tell because the stamps I have on here were flourishes too. But I did some text on here. What I did is I did the background, and I sprayed after I did the stencil. After I did these two stencils here, I took Goosebumps, and Goosebumps is like a resist. And I sprayed it, and that's where you see the little dots. You see the little dots of black, only because I stamped over it. But you can, I don't know if you can see this, the little dots here in this area of white, that came from the Goosebumps, because it is a resist. So that's all I did. I put a couple of colors on the background. There was a green and a blue, and I put some gesso on it, and I stamped it. I did the stencils. And then I stamped it, and that's what I got. So this is the next page, And this has different things going on it. I used a stencil here, and I have this paper that has these spirals, and it's a handmade paper. When you put it down, the rest of the paper disappears, and you can see the spiral. And I put some text down in different places. This is like some shorthand and some music and some just regular text out of, I think this is a dictionary book or something. A couple of pieces of washi tape, and then I put this on it. This is from a washi tape swap, and it's actually like a dark blue, but what can I say? And this is the page. Yeah, this is the page that goes with this page. So you can see they kind of go together. They have some of the same colors. And this one I used this ring. I don't know what it's from. It's like metal. And I used it to, I just put it in paint, and then I just kept stamping it. And I used the ribbon waste again. Smeared some blue paint on because I wasn't really happy with all the colors that I had on here, and I had to get it to match the other page too. So I just put some blue, some of the darker blue in different areas for that. And this is just pretty plain. I just wiped on paint, you know, in different colors, and I was getting it to match this page actually. And this page I just, again, I took a paper towel and I wet it down, and I just went down and I just did stripes, and then I went with the other color, did the same thing. And this was washi tape that I had made. I just stamped on paper, ran it through my Xyron, and that's what I used. And that's kind of reinforcing that dotted line that will bring it out of the, you know, when you take it out of the notebook. Here's another one. I really like this one. And this was done with some of the inks. And some of the inks had like a pearlescent in them. But I did gesso over the whole thing in a really light gesso just to tone it down. But then I sprayed, I think it was Desert Moon Blazing Sun Glitz Spritz. So that's what I sprayed in. So it has like a little shimmer to it. And this is the page that goes with that page. And I just took, I can't remember now what I took. It was, not that. I don't know what I took, but I took something that was one size circle. Oh, I know what I took. It's one of those things that you mash down, that you, it's like a, lost for words here. Oh, you know, a whisk, but it has like the spiral, and I just put it into gesso, and then just kept stamping it over and over and over again. And I just wiped the background color on, and put on some handmade washi tape. It has little sparkles in it. Okay, and then this is the next page I used. Again, this is one of those scrapbook stencils. It has arrows on it. And this I actually did from the jelly plate, right onto the page. And I just drew on it. I used that same tool that I used here, I used on the washi plate. And that's how that turned out there on those swirls that you see there. And then I just took a tool and I just, you know, drew little squiggly lines. And that is going with this. This one I just poured, just like you saw me do that last page, when I first started. When I poured on the paint, that's exactly what this is. I poured on, I did the black first, and I kind of let it dry to a certain point. And then I did this pinkish color. Actually, it's probably red, but, you know, I watered it down so it turned into pink. And then I did a blue and a green. I really like this. We'll see what happens. You know, I mean, oh, the other page isn't done yet, so obviously it's going to be matching this page. Leave that out, so I'll do it. And same thing. I mean, I just got on a roll with it. This one I just used some yellow paint, some just regular yellow paint, and then I also used some of the F&W. This is yellow orc. So I used that, and I used, I can't find it. It's like a lime color. Oh, here it is right here. Got so much crap out here. Liquitex Brilliant Yellow Green. It would help if I turned it the right way, huh? So, I'm running low on this. But anyway, that's what went on there. I put right down here, I put a part of a doily that was kind of falling apart after I've used it so much. And once I got it on, I put gesso on it, and then I sprayed it with, this is actually made for dark paper, like I told you before, the Glitz Spritz, but I actually sprayed it on here, so it has like a little blue tint going over it. Okay, and that page goes with this page. And this one I stamped some flowers with gesso down here. And I did some, which you probably can't see very well, I did some branches, and up on top I did like a sun. But then I gessoed over them to just tone them down. So, these two pages go together. This one I took the red FW paint, I think it was called Crimson, and I actually put it on a white paper towel and did the background. So it turned out pink, even though it is crimson. And then I took that same color and I dropped it with a dropper in different places. Then I dropped white on top of it, and then I dropped dark blue on top of it. And I was a little impatient with it drying, so then I went and got my paper towels and I started blotting it. So I like how it turned out, because of the fact that I didn't have the patience for it. This one, I wiped on paint, and I did the blue and the white, and then I came in with this red, and this is a folk art paint, and it's called Metallic Bright Red. It is not bright red, but I took it and I just put it on a white paper towel, and then I went over everything that was on there, and some of it wasn't dry, so some of it just, you know, dragged on down, which I really liked it. So, anyway, that's that. And then I did, you know, again, I did the inks on this, and I don't know if this page is done. And this page goes with that, and I just kind of started it. I did some stamping on it, and, you know, it's far from being done. And then this is the last page, and again, this was from a Gelli plate, and this was a stencil that I used, and I had used different colors, and then I used white on it, I think, yeah, white paint on it. And I just really liked, this was like this, the ghost print, and I just really, really liked how it turned out. These were some washi tapes I made. I just glued some on. I glued on some of this again over here to reinforce the edge. And that's it. So those are the pages I have done so far. I have, I don't know, three or four, both the front and the backs to do, and then the back on that one. Or maybe a couple of them. And I can actually start working on my journal, which is very, very exciting. I'll tell you, I've never done a journal like this where I did all the backgrounds first. And, oh, I didn't show you that. I have a little transparency on here with the number 3. Can you see that? Let me bring it up again. See? Maybe if I put my hand in back of it. So anyway, I just, for some reason, I just thought maybe this might be better if I go ahead and do all the backgrounds first, and then start working on the pages, the spreads, as I go along. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't really ever done a journal that way. Usually I'll just dive in and do the journal. But I just decided to go a different direction this time. And it's been interesting to see, you know, what kind of supplies turn me on at the time that I'm, you know, sitting down to do everything. So I hope you enjoyed this. And tune back in and you can see the journal. You know, hopefully I'll do some journal pages where you can see it, and maybe what I'll try to do is get my video camera, because my phone just is giving you such a different view of this that I think it might be better if I get my regular video camera. I tried with the iPad, that didn't work. So I have used my camera in the past and it's worked, so we'll probably go that direction. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.